We had a beautiful move within the crypto markets yesterday with prices pushing up exactly as expected, right on schedule in terms of the timing target as well. So in today's show, we're going to have a look at what some of the top performing coins may be leading into the next phase up. We're also going to talk about the short-term dip that we're seeing within the market right now, which would be expected given such a massive move up yesterday. It's going to create inefficiency, and you can expect over the next 48 hours or so, you will cool off a little bit with shallow dips, possibly forming a little bit of a low time frame range, and then you're looking for a reaccumulation, a bullish absorption, and for prices to move up higher, and then you're looking to be established in the right coin. So maybe one of your last opportunities to get in. Smash the like button, hit the bell notification, and subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Let's get into it. If you see on the hourly, this is how quick that bullish absorption is happening, at least within the coins that are in the top 100, right? Immediately moving towards the upside of there, very few of them looking red, and the 100 to 200 is looking the same, and 200 to 300 exactly the same. So for the most part, pretty healthy. Dailies are holding up over here. Again, you still have those stubborn meme coins, right? Ruling the markets over there with the biggest gains. Weekly looks exactly the same over here. There are some that are coming to life as well that are, you know, more project based and not meme coin based. ENA also moving up over there. WorldCoin, Mantra still up nicely. So we'll have a look at this and a whole lot more in today's show. If you are looking for a particular coin that you want requested, please do drop it in the comment section below. Let me know what you think, what coins you want to have a look at, and we'll make sure to bring those up, right? So fear and greed index for the stock market, because crypto is not the only thing going up. Remember, the stock market tends to lead all the markets, and therefore you have the fear and greed pushing up into extreme greed now for the stock market at 77, which is not really that surprising considering the stock market continues to move into those all-time high territories with each and every single daily close, weekly close, and monthly close closing at higher and higher levels. And this is the definition of a bull market. Now, timing-wise, we have an important date which is coming up. We are exactly 21 days away from the US presidential election, which is going to be beginning on the 5th of November. And we've seen historically that this tends to lead to big upside moves. Now, given that this has already been a pretty sizable move on the stock market, if you look from the lows to the highs over there, well, it's just short of 10%. These are big numbers, guys. Remember, this is like crypto moving up or Bitcoin moving up 50 to 100% in a couple of days. So there will be pullbacks along the way. Now, one area of interest that I'm looking at for potential pullback for the stock market is the 50% level. This first has to have a confirmed local top, so this level may rise over time, but it matches up with a strong horizontal, and that's going to be this yellow box over here. So if you do see the stock market pullback, you know, watch into that 5,666 region. That give or take is going to be an important area of support, and you kind of want to time that with Bitcoin, right? If you do get a pullback in the stock market, Bitcoin's probably also going to come down, and that might be like the final flush, right, before leading into that election phase. And then we're looking at the time period between these two white lines to be the bonkers phase, the banana zone, as 𝗲𝗏𝗧 would say, right? 𝗲𝗏𝗧 says the banana zone, and that's what you would expect to occur in that yellow time period, which could lead on for about another year. The expectation would be an incredibly bullish 2025 specifically for the stock market, and I think that's where all of our crypto gains are going to be had. We'll have a look as well at the at least sentiment factors within crypto. We'll have a look at how the Twitter analysts are starting to tweet a little bit more, and that's likely to bring retail back into the market. We've seen a recent uptick in that, right? But we still have the DXY, which is simply the dollar index, ripping towards the upside over there. We're approaching the pink box over here. The pink box is where I said I expect this to stall out, find a little bit of resistance, and then possibly turn over for the DXY. If this does turn back over, we know that's going to be good for crypto. So we're still waiting for that. I've marked out as well on Tesla for the Tesla bulls out there. Watch the 198 region, right, as an area of support. The unfortunate thing is if you do happen to get to that 198, it means you would have completed a bearish engulfing candle, which could have implications lower. If you lose 198, your next area of support is that 155 to 165 region. So 16 days, 14 hours left to go before this monthly candle close. And there's been a lot of volatility in Tesla. Now, I'm personally an Elon Musk fan. I definitely don't think that anyone should fade him. There's a book called Elon Musk. You can go listen to it on Audible, read the book. If you want to learn about this guy's thinking, it's absolutely unbelievable, defying all odds, right? I wouldn't bet against Tesla, so I treat it as opportunities if you do get down into these low regions. All right, continuing on, where's our crypto fear and greed? Well, we went yesterday from around that 52, 53 in neutral territory to now suddenly shooting up into the greed at 65. We spoke about yesterday as well how, this was actually over the course of Friday and Saturday, expect a short squeeze. And then yesterday I said, well, just be careful now taking over leverage longs going into what is theoretically the resistance region. You might get one little flush squeezing out the late longs, the over leverage longs, and then you're going to see the fear and greed reset possibly back into neutral. And then I think that sometime by Thursday, we're probably going to see Bitcoin taking out those key levels. I'm going to give you the key levels on the chart in just a moment, so stay tuned until the very, very end. And then let's have a look over here. So you can see the last 24 hours, the majority of liquidations was still shorts, right? There were shorts that were coming into the market, 145 million. But now you'll probably start to see in the next hour to 4 hours, there's going to be more longs that are going to get liquidated. Look at that 4-hour time period over there. $21 million worth of liquidations, and 16 of those million were actually late longs, right? Late longs jumping into the market. And that's exactly what I was talking about. So we'll keep an eye out on this. The 24-hour long to short ratio still remains with the majority of the market biased towards the long side. So still looking for those long positions. I did take a trade as well for the World Series of Trading. I'll show you that trade in a moment. We had virtually no drawdown, a little bit of red for probably the first hour or so of the trade, and then it spiked up, so we're in profit. I've closed that trade out. We'll go over that as well, and this is partly why, right? Because I still think that you might get a little bit more of a move towards the downside. You can see the liquidity underneath over here in the form of longs, stop losses over the 12-hour look-back period. And then you have the shorts, which is also building up. But right now, the liquidity is stronger and brighter underneath over there on the downside, right? $65,000 Bitcoin price and 64,600. That is about 16, 17 million worth of liquidity combined. So one area to watch for over there. And your monthly time frame, very, very, very strong, right? Let's wait for the monthly close. You know, if we close above last month's high at 66,786 with a full-bodied candle, that's going to be incredibly bullish, right? It's going to look really, really good for continuation. And I think this is some sound advice, right? I wanted to highlight specifically this part from Noodles over here. He joined crypto in 2016. He says, 2016 was the year that I joined the crypto market, and the timing was exactly like this, right? We spoke about the election phase. I've showcased that to you on a chart as well. And he says over here, it was exactly this, 3 weeks before the US elections. I remember that's when everything started to rise. The same thing happened in 2020. Again, 3 weeks before the US elections. After months of stagnant market, it began its run, right? Leaving most people behind because it's psychological warfare out there within these markets. It grinds down your mental resistance, right? You think, yet another fake pump. Here we go again, another fake pump. I don't trust this rally. I understand the thinking. I have been there before. And then it becomes the real pump where prices end up leaving in a major markup phase. And we actually have, tool sets that we can utilize to determine whether it is a real move or not. And one thing that I'm looking at over here is on the daily time frame. I'm looking at this signal over here, which is called the Bollinger Band Width Percentile. And you can see it squeezed down below the green line, which is your 10 percentile mark. And it came almost as low as it can possibly come. It went down to 3.15% volatility, and now it started to move back above, closing outside and above that 10 percentile mark. And this is usually your first indication that the real move is taking place, right? Real volatility. So you're looking at continuation onwards and upwards over here, and just understand that will have implications for the weekly time frame, which is still recontracting, right? So the weekly time frame is still moving towards the downside, approaching that 10 percentile mark. So what you may see as the daily expands is something like this, right? And then this will start to leave, and that's where you have your big moves, right? So there it is. That's a weekly scale. I said, my best guess, putting my best foot forward with my best guess, I would be looking at within the next 2 weeks, we're probably breaking out possibly even sooner above that $68,000 level. That means that you're going to be leaving this long-term consolidation. It's one of the longest consolidations that we've had as well, timing-wise, and we're going to start to approach the 69K level, the 69,600 stubborn level that price attempted to break above for months. All of these are high time frame candles, 5-day candles, and it literally spent months and months and months and months attempting to break through with failure to do so. And at the time we spoke about, because of the lack of ability for bulls to get through this level for so many times, what you're most likely to see is similar to troops that go into a battlefield and they're at the enemy line and they're getting pounded at the enemy line and unable to break through. They're forced with one option. That's retreat, regather the troops, and attempt the enemy line once again at a later date. And that's exactly what we saw, right? We saw the retreatment of the bulls, retracing price action, essentially recouping the troops, and now they're going to go for it again. And this chance, they've weakened that enemy line, so they're probably going to break through, and that could be very, very, very soon. So keep an eye out as prices move up towards the 69K level. Think of the psychological warfare as well. Remember, all the times failed over here. It means that most of the people that have been pretty much rejected at this level and lost money are ultimately going to think that it's another fake attempt to break through. And then you're probably going to have the real breakthrough. And then unfortunately, that's where their psychology gets left behind. And they think, no, it's a fake breakout. We're coming back down. And we don't come back down, rallying onwards and upwards, right? So that's something to watch for over there. You have a strong candle on the last 5-day candle that we had. And we're 1 day now and 18 hours away from the next candle close. And that will further solidify this as a major high low coming into the 50% level, which we did outline was the most probable outcome. The lower probability outcome was possibly a move into 57,500 to 57,800. That level's been missed, and I think it's becoming less likely that we're ever going to go back there, especially based on this wick that we have on that candle, which means that we're playing out the Wyckoff accumulation schematic. So as you approach the enemy line at the $69,000 level above head over here, it means that if you do get above it, well, you've confirmed your sign of strength, right? You're breaking above the top side of the range over here on the Wyckoff accumulation schematic. And we spoke about the various different phases, right? We're looking for the strong bullish move. This is the topic of last week. It's all we spoke about, right? A strong bullish move that breaks price through the high volume resistance, indicating that that markup has started, and we can essentially complete the LPS phase, moving into the SOS phase. And that's exactly what's occurred, right? There it is. We've broken through the high volume resistance. The point of control is at 62,992, and we're looking for bulls to hold above that level. There's a couple of other high volume nodes that are still above. You know, if you can start to break above this 67.3, and then the next one to get above is 68.2, break and hold above those levels, and you fully confirmed it leading into where the white line, which is what the US election phase, and we've seen how that story unfolds. So we just need to monitor what happens with the stock market. If the stock market starts to pull back, you may get one more pullback. I'm going to give you the levels for that pullback as well. And remember some wise advice, which I'm about to give you. Let's go straight to the advice is this. Do not get fooled, right? The last legs are the most parabolic ones. Someone who bought the bottom of the cycle, right, and sells now, they might actually get worse gains than someone buying now and selling at the top of the cycle, right? Because it's the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. The biggest gains are found in the final 20% of the rally, right? 80% of all your profits will be made in the final 20%. So if you're rich now, get prepared to get mega rich, right? Get prepared to be mega rich. Choose rich, right? Let's have a look over here at price action. I told you high probability. This is going to be a high low. I'm calling it. It's a high low. It's confirmed, at least in my books. And the reason why is if we get really technical about things, which we should, because this is a technical analysis show, all we have to do is mark out the previous higher high that occurred, and we said full confirmation of the high low occurs when you take out that higher high. And if we run a little line across over there on a closing basis, did we close higher or lower than that white line? And the answer is pretty obvious. It is higher, right? We closed higher than that line over there. We did come directly into resistance, which I told you to also watch out for. You've created an inefficiency candle as well. Now, what I'd be looking for is this, right? Let's see how the daily candle closes. Pending how this daily candle closes, you are going to print a fair value gap. What is a fair value gap? A fair value gap is an inefficiency candle. Let's just pretend that price action closes at this exact level that we're at right now. Where would your fair value gap be, right? You're looking at this candle over here. You're taking the previous candle's wick, which is right over there. We're pulling this across. We're moving to the next daily candle wick low, which we're saying under the presumption we close at this exact level, it would be there, right? We'll change the color scheme for you guys to make it very, very easy. Let's move it to a pink zone. There we go. That would then be your fair value gap, right? Now, if you're lucky, you'll get one more spike into that fair value gap. No guarantees, absolutely no guarantees over here. We only play probabilities, right? Not guarantees. Now, this is going to be an area that's going to get heavily bid, right? Assuming the daily closes over here, maybe in the next couple of days, you do get one more spike down into the fair value gap. That becomes the buy zone where you're looking for price to rally on out of there, and that's probably your final shakeout level. So I have already dropped the levels into the Whale Room Discord for those of you that are there. If you are looking to buy the dip, I've outlined clearly, according to my trading system, where the validation and invalidation zones are. So please go through to Captain's Take section and you'll find it over there. So this was always the at least trajectory that we were following. Now, you know, we said possible you come this low, but not guaranteed. It looks like it's more followed that path. You've hit that level, you move towards the upside, and now we're waiting for the sign of strength to occur and the final breakout. So, you know, things get really heated if you start to close above the previous month's high. $66,559 is the level to reclaim on a daily closing candle basis. And if you do that, we should see some new momentum come back into the market. And therefore, cyclically, everything is following exactly according to plan. I'm not going to go too much into detail on this, but you can see it. We are currently in the purple line over here. The price cycles was the green and the orange one, right? Exactly according to track. This is what you have to look forward to. Congratulations. You're late, but you're not too late. So that's why I say congratulations, right? You're late to the party, but you're not too late because of the Pareto principle, where the final gains occur right over here. The last bit, right? The last bit of the cycle. So if you are new and you want to learn more about these markets, how I view things, how I read things, well, please jump into Whale School. It's my gift to you guys, right? Many of the influencers in the space package these courses and charge $5,000 to $15,000 for all their guru knowledge. I've given it to you entirely for free. All you have to do is use the link in the description below. That's at least while there is still spots available. So go through over here, go to Whale School, click that over there. It will bring you through to this page. You can pause the video, do it right now, click sign up over there, fill in your details, and you'll receive an email, and then hopefully you're in, right? We're doing the next cohort begins in 15 days. I'm proud to have put almost 70,000 people through this course, right? So a whole lot of information. You get extra alpha in the workshops, which we're having the last one for the last cohort. The previous cohort is actually happening tomorrow. So if you're in that cohort, make sure to join there. All right, let's have a look at Bitcoin. We spoke about the relationship between price and the 200 EMA and 200 MA. 200 EMA is the light blue, 200 MA is the dark blue, and the convergence into those and the pressure buildup between those levels are likely to lead to an expansive move. We got that, right? We've also lined that up with the volatility, which you would expect would come into the market based on that buildup between those MAs and EMAs. Now we're back above the 200 MA. This creates a psychological shift in the market. You know, people generally view as long as price is above the 200 MA, it's healthy, things are good. If you're below it, oh my word, it's all over and it's a bear market, right? So you'll see the sentiment shift start to occur within the market. We're going to look at the metrics to also gauge whether people are becoming more optimistic and coming back into the market. So of course, we're printing the potential fair value gap over there. We have a bull moon, which is coming up on Thursday, which typically leads to high prices. So if you do pull back over the course of today and tomorrow, that becomes your buy zone, right? Into the fair value gap, as I showcased to you on the prior chart, that's your buy zone. Look for your opportunity to enter into the market and then expect that we are going to start to break out. Now you can see we've hit into this level many times, right? If we use our highlighter tool, you can see while we mark the top, let's consider this the first attempt, second, third, fourth attempt. We're coming in for the fifth attempt. The chances of rejecting on the fifth attempt are incredibly low. Now, I'm not saying that you can't pause there, right? You could pause there like this, but pausing and grinding into resistance typically leads to explosive moves towards the upside, and that would be the expectation. So I continue to beat the bullish drum. Remember the other day I said to you that I might have to, hide in a cave if this whole analysis goes wrong, because I've been drilling it into you guys for so long, but I'm giving you the evidence with that, right? You can see the beautiful series of higher lows in play over here. So this is pretty much confirmed. And therefore, what do you expect, right? High highs. That was your high high. High low, we're looking for continuation of that trend. This is trend reversal on a high time frame, which is a good thing. Now you can see the optimism typically comes back into the market on the reclaim of the 200 MA, and we've just done that, right? You got above the 200 MA. Again, I didn't say that you won't chop around. You could chop around. You could come into the fair value gap. That presents an opportunity. But historically, this is what we've seen, right? 2017 above the 200 MA, rips towards the upside, massive move, right? If you look at that move over there, 7,513%, which is absolutely insane. 2021 reclaims the 200 MA. We have a 705% move. And then the next one over here in 2024, when we reclaimed, we got a 274% move. Now, the only thing that I can be devil's advocate about is suggest that, well, the 200 MA is angled towards the downside. So we'll need to see that turn up very, very soon. But if we go back to this chart over here, we also use the 21 EMA on the weekly, and that one is more important to me, and that one's angled towards the upside, which is typically a good sign. So with that being said, I do think that, sentiment will shift, risk will come back into the market, and your sweet spot buy zone is going to be this area over here, right? Between the 0.5 level and the 0.382, which is between 62,681 and about 63,500. Again, no guarantees. That would be similar to filling your fair value gap. This is a 4-hour time frame. If you saw something like that, I think that's where demand comes back into the market. That I've labeled the sweet spot. I don't rule out in a more aggressive sell-off the possibility of even sweeping, back down into this 59, 60K level. But I'm personally not looking for anything below that, right? So again, we talk about probabilities. If you get this, high probability bounce area. This is low probability that it even comes into play. So this is 0.1, this is 0.2. I would be a buyer at 0.1 if you have no exposure to the market. The market is looking to reverse the trend, and you don't want to fade these trending moves, right? So all in all, that's looking good. And you also have Google trends at lows. This is actually a good sign. The fact that prices are nearing all-time highs, but sentiment is still pretty low. Very, very interesting, right? Google trends all the way down at the lows over here. So there's a lot of catching up to be done. Now, typically the Twitter tweets will be the first movers when it comes to the market. And I've had a look over here at all these major analysts, and you can see, of course, as the prices were getting exciting yesterday, there were more tweets going out. Typically, this translates later into YouTube views, right? We're seeing the views pick up. If you want the views to pick up more, all you have to do is interact, right? Like the show over there. Let me know in the comment section what your favorite altcoin is as well, because I'm about to bring those up. And usually what you'll see is following the Twitter analysts tweeting more regularly, price moves, and then you have the YouTube views also picking up, which right now have not done so, right? This has been a constant downtrend all the way across the board over here. And until this starts to move into an uptrend, we can't say with confidence that retail are here to stay. They might be back temporarily, but we need to see the high highs and high lows on the YouTube views. If we reset the zoom, this is what we want to see, right? This is your, let's say, prior cycle from beginning to end. This is what it looked like. So beginning to end, we'll go to the second peak over there. And this is what your YouTube views look like, right? Steady and slow grind, and then eventually very, very aggressive towards the top over there. And you can see most of the participants actually come in already when the market is distributing. They were very lucky in this scenario that they actually got a second peak, which would have given them an opportunity to exit the market. And then obviously it was down only from that point. Now we're still waiting to get even close to these levels. Never mind to mention that we should actually surpass these levels within this cycle. Why? Because the asset class is bigger. You have more backing. BlackRock have entered the game. Institutions have entered the game. Previously, it didn't have that legitimacy. So we're waiting for this to be an even bigger cycle in terms of sentiment than before. And where are we right now in comparison on YouTube views? Well, very, very low. Now, some of you may think that, well, what does YouTube views matter? Times have changed and the media is different. Well, I definitely disagree. The statistics show that, YouTube views for crypto, or at least interest across YouTube channels, has increased. We've seen more and more YouTube crypto channels spring up, and they wouldn't be doing that if there wasn't an opportunity there to capitalize on viewers, right? So I do still think that the predominant source of attention when it comes to crypto and where most of the retail are going to go is going to be to YouTube, right? Send them to this show because I hope to make people profitable and not let people get wrecked, right? So total cryptocurrency market cap, there's a lot of various different things that we look at. One day one coin's pumping, the next day it's not. Another day another coin's pumping, the next day it's not. But one thing that will show you whether the market is generally moving up or not is going to be the total cryptocurrency market cap, because that cannot be manipulated in the sense of shifting money from one hand to another within the crypto sphere, right? Shifting from, for example, Solana to Near to Ton, to Bonk, to this, to that. The whole cryptocurrency market cap goes up, and that means all the coins go up, right? So if the total crypto cap goes up, it all goes up. And what are we seeing over here? Well, we have good signs, right? We have the low. We have a higher low over there. This is still a lower low on a closing basis, but a higher low on a wick basis. Now you have a higher high or higher low on a closing and a wick basis, which is showing potential trend shift. You have a higher high over here, and now you're starting to breach this downsloping trend line, showing a shift of the momentum from the correction, moving from top to bottom over here to now potentially actually ending. So all in all, this is really, really good. Yes, there will be resistance overhead here, which is coming in between let's just label it the $2.5 trillion level. That is going to provide a little bit of resistance. But if we can see price move up and consolidate into this region leading into the end of the year, that's going to lead to the big breakout for 2025. And that's where you can call it the bull run has begun in retail eyes, right? We know that we've been in this bull run for a long time. We've been in the bull run ever since the cycle lows over here when the FTX collapse occurred. But in the retail mind, the bull run begins when you take out these highs, right? So we still have a lot of juice left in the tank. Now, if we look at Byzantine General's tweet over here, and he typically studies, the open interest and the order books and things like that. Pretty good guy when it comes to that. He's outlined something significant and interesting over here, right? We have a potential giga short squeeze, which is coming. And the reason why is if you look at this at ETH, right? He says it's nuts. ETH open interest is making new highs when price isn't anywhere even near all-time highs. Where's price, right? Price is all the way down here, but where's the open interest? Towards the highs. This could be whales that are building up long positions. We should probably have a look at what the Bitfinex whales are doing. I should have thought about that before the show. I'll have to update you in Whale Room afterwards because I'm not going to have time to pull up all the data. But those guys are typically the ones that lead the market first. Now, this could signify that there is a big squeeze that's going to be coming on Ethereum. And we know if Ethereum goes up, typically the rest of the market's going to go up, right? ETH has been hard hit, very hard hit. If ETH goes up, we know the market's going to be in a much healthier place, especially when it comes to the altcoin sector. So we need to keep an eye out on these things, right? Let's move on over here. So altcoins, what are we looking at? I can see over here, you guys are already dropping your requests. Myro, we have, what's that? Dog K, we have Super, we have Myro again, we have BNX, AXL. Drop them in the comment section over there, guys. I'm going to have a look now. Also, if you do appreciate the analysis, it really helps me and it helps the show content get out there. If all you do is take 1 second to smash the like button. Okay, I'm going to bring up your request in a moment. Let's just go through some of the other coins that I wanted to have a look at. We looked at this a couple of weeks ago. This is AITECH. Now, remember, AITECH control a lot of the GPU power when it comes to the AI crypto industry. They have physical data centers that have hardware there, which are going to be loaning out to a lot of the AI sector or crypto sector. And consequently, this could be like betting on a blue chip for the AI sector. So what we did is we had a look at this a couple of weeks ago and we said, let's watch this area over here, which is going to be the 0.65 to 0.618 fib level. You can see we had a double bottom into there. This one was a high low, which is a good sign, but came into that area, held W formation, currently still in play, right? Typically, this is not necessarily late to take a trade. You're looking for the break above the W formation, which is the neckline coming in on AITECH at about 0.11162. Break and hold above that level, multiple candles above that, and this one may start to have expansion, right? This is coming off of course, a long-term downtrend. You hit the key horizontal area of support. You're putting in high lows, high highs. This one could be one to keep an eye out on. So put that onto your watch list. Let's continue. What else do we have? Let's look at Solana. It's important that we always look at Solana, guys, because people are so heavily invested in Solana, number one. Number two, Solana holds up most of the weight of some of the top meme coins that are out there. And if Solana is doing well, we know the meme coins will do well and the overall market is healthy. Similar to Bitcoin, wait for the daily candle close, and what you may get is a fair value gap. This is going to be across the board, right? Anytime you get these big moves up, mark out your levels. If this is how the daily candle closes, that becomes your fair value gap. Pullbacks into this zone will be bought up with stop losses below the expansive candle low. And then you're looking at a price move up above $164. So if you can get to 165 and hold there, well, this will be looking really good. The good news is you're also putting in higher lows over here. We just need to see the higher high for Solana. All right. Casper, let's see. Casper still chopping about over here, still more or less holding up. This one needs to start to get back pronto above 14 cents over there to start to look good. Any change on TON? No, not really. Same levels. SUI. Okay, SUI, although every time it looks like it's going to top, it's probably not, right? This thing's probably going to continue to rip into price discovery. It's already closed at new all-time highs, which of course is a good sign. What else do we have? Let's quickly double check Injective. Okay, all in all, Injective looking good, basing off of the strong support over here, as well as the golden pocket over there. So price moving up, looking good. Say, let's double check Say. We're still in the long trade on Say, for those of you in Whale Room who took this trade. You know, at this point, I think I'm just going to eliminate the risk. Move your stops into break even. If you get stopped out, you know, we'll either look for another opportunity or just find a way to re-enter. But at this point, no risk on the Say trade. All right, NEAR. Let's have a look at NEAR. Also holding up in the previous fair value gap that had. I am going to delete that now. Narrowly missed the 61865 level, which is your golden pocket. Look, this is your neckline. Possible W formation in play. Break and close above this neckline, and you start to move up towards 648, 770 or 770 as the secondary target over there. Maybe I should talk about the trade that I took yesterday as well very quickly. So I did drop this in Whale Room. This is again for the World Series of Trading event. Keep in mind you have about just over 2 weeks left to try and place in this competition. If you can win this competition, you know you could win up to $10 million worth of prizes. So there is a massive, massive prize pool over there. Join into our team over here. I finally got myself up to heavyweight, which means over a $10,000 position. Now, you don't have to have a $10,000 position if you join. You can join with $500, right? So there it is. This is the trade that I took over here on ByBit. I long bonk over there. I closed the trade up over here, and now it's starting to move into a low time frame downtrend. So we'll continue to watch this. This was the exact trade setup dropped in Whale Room. I was watching on the 5-minute time frame. Daily fair value gap. We came into it, held it. We had a little ascending triangle over there. I went to TP1, and then I just closed the rest of it on the top side over here. So straight into profit. This is a good trade over there. This is ultimately where I closed out when I posted this, right? So somewhere up here, narrowly missed the final TP. Now, if you do want more of this information, right, I'm not the only one. I'm dropping all of the trades, everything I'm looking at over here in Whale Room. But if you go through below, you have our other amazing traders as well, like Chris, right? Absolutely crushing it over here. He also made his way into the top 10. And then you also have Farouk, who's dropping a lot of scalp trades. So if you're looking for quick in-out trades, which sometimes for these competitions, these are the better trades to be taking, right? 557% on Brett. Absolutely crushing it. And then, of course, you have a lot of other value. Now, the reason that I'm mentioning this, you have a lot of other value in the sense of the DGen calls, right? If you look at the DGen calls, yesterday, we dropped this Klaus, which was at a market cap of, let's just click on that. You can see over there, 7.4 million. When I woke up this morning, $22 million market cap, a new meme coin pick on the list over there. Keep in mind, guys, I'm only mentioning this because you have until the end of this month to join. If you join now, you'll lock in that rate as long as you remain in the Discord. The pricing is going to go up significantly, right? From the 1st of November, it's going up a lot. So please make sure that you jump in now while there's still an opportunity. If you do want to join, use this link, right? Go through over here and go through to the bottom. It says there, Whale Room. That's the one that you want to click click, jump in, join now. We might even cap the amount of people that are going to be coming in. All right, let's continue. So your requests, drop them over there. Turbo, let's go to Turbo. Turbo is a meme coin. Guys, this is your requests. If everyone's dropping meme coins, it's not my fault. I'm trying to give you some other alpha beyond meme coins. But if you guys want the meme coins, I'm going to go to the meme coins, right? So let's go to Turbo. I will be taking other requests as well, non-meme coin related. So please do drop them. Bullish. Very, very, very bullish. Very, very powerful chart over here. The fact that Bitcoin's not at all-time highs. This is at all-time highs. It's super strong. And that just reiterates, this is a meme coin cycle, like it or not. This is at least what the market is showing for the time being. Whether it's going to continue like that is another story, right? Foxy. Okay. Also starting to get a bullish move. We spoke about it. If it can break and hold above this 0.010522, you open up the trading range to possibly move up to 0.015107. And we're starting to see that take place following the break of the downsloping trend line, which is a good sign, right? Okay. What else? I've done Turbo, guys. You keep dropping Turbo. Let's go to Jupiter. Okay, Jupiter USDT. How is Jupiter doing? I'm looking at the one that's listed on Mexi. Same thing, right? Range bound over here. The obvious area of resistance is coming in over here at the mid-range. There it is. That's your mid-range level. So that's the level to reclaim. You can't really take the trade over here. I would personally just wait for the reclaim of the mid-range or look to another coin that's got a better risk to reward. Let me just quickly go over Bonk, because that was the trade that I took. And let's just have a look on the low time frame over here just to see, I actually may look for an opportunity to re-enter into Bonk again, because the daily is unchanged, right? The daily still remains strong. So that's a trade over there. We'll continue to monitor. Maybe we get another rejection. We come back towards entry. I wouldn't be surprised to see something like that, right? Another move back down into this. We'll go for round 2 over there. I'll give you the trigger plan in Whale Room. If I do actually take that trade, I'll give it to you in Whale Room. Moving on to the daily, this is what it looks like, right? This is part of the reason I would love to get a perfect entry with a beautiful swing trade over there, pre-expansion, because this one's going to cook. I think this one's going to absolutely cook. This is a major high-low coming into the back test of that trend line that it broke out from. This is a key level. This thing's going to expand massively. First target, if you get a nice little leverage trade on this for the competition, 41% up, right? Take that on 3x leverage. 4,812, you're 120% up. If you do get it to the top side, 80% up over there. You're talking about 300% profits on a low leverage trade. And if we just go through to the competition over here, you can see, position number 1 is this position number 1. Let's just see. I might have to reset this. But position number 1 was only a couple of 100% up, right? So you can easily make it into those rankings. All right. Let's go. What else have we got? We can look at Wormhole, something I haven't looked at forever, but let's check it out. Wormhole, right? Wormhole. Let's just double check out the right one. I'm going to use this one on, let's go to this one on Mexi. Okay, Wormhole. How's it looking? Okay, Wormhole's not great. It's kind of just chopping about. The only reason I say it's not great is because, there's no interest over there right now. There's no liquidity. There's no volume or momentum, and you're looking for momentum. Look, that's the level. You've started to break above that, which is a key thing. You might be transitioning from the strong downtrend from what was a ranging market into maybe a trending market. So yeah, I would say, as long as you hold up above this candle that occurred on the 26th of September, there is a chance over here that it establishes an uptrend. Whether the momentum is going to come, maybe something I don't, right? Maybe they have big announcements, but ultimately you want to hold above 24 cents, right? That's the level. That's the level to hold. Okay, let's go to Brett. That's another one of the requests. Let's check out Brett. Okay, how's Brett doing following that big move? Is it still holding up? It is still holding up. So I'm watching for the move up here into 0.129. And then again, remember the question remains, once it hits that level, do you do this type of a pullback, or do you simply just break through, hold this, and then continue to rip, which is so common amongst many of these meme coins because they move so fast, right? They're relentless. If you're not in, you miss it. Okay, let's go. What else? Most of the coins you guys are asking is memes, right? Does no one want to trade anything else? No one wants to trade anything else. It's just memes. Okay, Myro. Let's have a look at Myro. Strong. Very, very, very strong. still strong. Now, what are going to be some of the top altcoins to look at for the rest of the cycle? What you want to do is you want to have a look at the things that perform the best over the March period where the market was doing super well. And then more specifically, you want to see which of those ones that did the best actually managed to hold up some of those gains and not do an 80-90% pullback, which is what a lot of the coins did. So I think, if you want to play it safe, the tried and tested coins that have done well in terms of the layer ones, and that's why I say to play it safe, because typically these things don't rug like a meme coin would, is still going to be, right? Solana, love it or hate it, I don't know what to say, but Tron has been one of the top performers, right? It held up even from the March corrective period. It was one of the top performers. It pulled back. It came all the way into this trend line, held up, continued towards the upside. Love it or hate it, whether you like your excellency, who's now what did they give him? They gave him that title in that random country in Europe. Whether you like him or not, right? Tron has been one of the top performers. Solana is the other one that I just mentioned. I think Ton still has a chance, right? Ton still has a chance because of their massive user base. Consider what occurred with the arrest of the founder of Telegram, or the CEO of Telegram, an opportunity to suppress price a little bit to gain a longer term entry. I think Sui is also a top pick, right? But of course, this one's moved a lot. We got our original entry based on the reclaim back into the range, following what we labeled the final shakeout. I think Injective is a pretty solid bet. It will eventually catch up, but not as good as the others. Casper is still great. I think Near as well. Near is one to watch. Keep an eye out on Near, especially as AI starts to heat up. And then I see some of you are dropping Aptos, right? Is Aptos the Solana killer? That is the question. Well, as it stands right now, we did identify the inverse head and shoulder pattern over here, back tested for a perfect opportunity to get long. And we spoke about if you can break and hold above this, which is a 30% move, and you hold above that level over here at 970, that's going to be a good sign. What are you doing right now? You're holding above that. So that at least opens up now the trading range for Aptos to move into 33 to 44% level. Now, we spoke about this when we said that Arthur Hayes has been explicitly bullish on Aptos, but we have to wait for a shift in the momentum of the chart, right? Because Solana has still been a complete outperformer of Aptos, and we're waiting for that trend reversal to see if, because he labels it the Solana killer. I think it's doubtful whether that's the case. Sometimes this may only catch up in the next cycle, but nevertheless, keep an eye out on Aptos, right? You're playing at level to level. Hold up above that level, above this 940, keep that level as support, and then you can trade this up for another 50% move, and then you just raise your stop loss, right? And if it does actually break and hold above this and become a strong trending move, well, you're in the trade. Phantom, let's have a look at Phantom. Phantom is also in an inverse head and shoulder formation, which we identified way back, broke above and continued to rip, right? There it is, inverse head and shoulders, broke above the neckline, came back just like Aptos to back test that as support, and it's exactly the same story, right? This is your target at 88 cents, break and hold above 88 cents, and you move to your next target, which is going to be coming in at $1.23. So if you are long on something like this, you'd be longing very late, but your stop loss remains underneath these candles over here, right? Especially if it gains acceptance, because if you do get one more flush, that could theoretically be support. So just keep an eye on it. If you're already long, I'd probably be raising the stops, trailing it just in case. All right, EOS. Yeah, let's have a look at EOS. How's EOS doing? Back to AI. Where's our little AI section over here? So EOS was presenting yet another opportunity to get an entry, right? And that was it, right? That was the entry zone over there. Anywhere within, I covered this with Whale Room yesterday. I said on the live Zoom session we did, anywhere within this circled area is where you want to be building a position. Now, we're not fortune tellers. We're not clairvoyants over here. Whether it's going to come all the way back down to the bottom of the range remains unknown. All that we said is that when it was back there, that was a perfect buy zone. Then I've given another opportunity over here saying that you would want to scale in down into this region over here in case, right? And we started to see the move. I'm going to delete this. We want to clear that up a little bit. Nevertheless, probable high low in the making over here, continuation up. Once you break this down sloping trend line, this thing should get cooking, right? So all the information is there for you in Whale Room, guys. Go through over there. I do update all of these charts and everything on a day-to-day basis. Everything is listed over there. I think we're going to cut over there. I'll catch all of you on the next one. I hope you all have an absolutely stellar day. Remember, the pricing will go up for Whale Room. I'll see you all on the next one, and cheers for now.